When Diana's feet touched the stone carpet at the front of the venue, the world seemed to freeze for a moment. The sound of cameras was still audible, but it sounded like explosions, deep underwater, faint yet intense. The journalists who had been whispering before now fell silent, as if they had forgotten how to put words together. Among the crowd, someone exclaimed softly, almost inaudibly, "God, she's magnificent." And it wasn't just any compliment, it was a confession. Tonight, the monarchy was no longer the center of attention. Tonight, a woman was shifting her own kingdom in the shadows of the cameras. Diana strode. Each step was like the beat of a war drum. Her black dress seemed to move with the wind like the wings of a great bird released from a cage, and the audience felt something they had never seen before. A princess who was no longer submissive. A princess who was no longer afraid. A princess who was no longer waiting for approval. A look that changed the energy of a room. When Diana entered the event hall, the previously bustling conversation stopped abruptly. All faces turned to her. There was awe, there was shock, there was also a subtle fear, felt only by those who understood how fragile the royal image was that night. All eyes were on her neck, her shoulders for silhouette, not for her sensuality, but for her daring to display something that had always been forbidden by protocol. A duchess, long known for her strict adherence to royal oaths, gripped her glass so tightly that her fingers turned white. "This is going too far," she muttered. But Diana didn't care. She hadn't come to beg forgiveness. She had come to reclaim herself. A sudden mood split. Some guests were relieved by this boldness. Others felt uneasiest, especially those who understood the intricacies of palace politics. They knew every fashion choice had a meaning, and the meaning of this black dress was clear. This was a rebellion that couldn't be quelled by a mere royal press statement. A senior royal official in attendance immediately left the room and called someone. His voice was trembling. "She's wearing it, the black dress." There was silence on the other end of the line. "What should we do?" Her answer was slow, cold, and full of pent-up anger. "Nothing. This has already become a global spectacle. The camera captures, the world interprets." Within minutes, the photos of Diana in the black dress were circulated at the British newspapers. Editors immediately changed the front pages. The reporters agreed without words. This was bigger news than Charles himself had admitted. Never before had a member of the royal family challenged the official narrative through clothing. Fashion experts began discussing the dress's symbolism. Royal commentators began assessing how it would impact the monarchy's reputation. Meanwhile, the general public could only stare, feeling a mixture of admiration and sympathy. Many women saw the dress not as just a dress, but as the body of a message. We may be broken, but we can rise without anyone's permission. A night that should have been ordinary. The irony is this: the event Diana attended that night was not a grand affair. It wasn't a grand royal ball, just a regular charity reception. But that night turned into the most important stage of her life. A stage the palace hadn't prepared for her. A stage no one could control but herself. Diana stood in the center of the room, accepting compliments, a few hugs, a few awkward comments from conservative royals. And amidst it all, there was one gaze that cut through the crowd, the gaze of someone who shouldn't have been there that night. Someone who stopped Diana in her tracks for a split second. Not a single camera caught it, not a single journalist noticed, but that gaze changed the energy of the room for Diana. That mysterious gaze, it came from a man in a dark suit, standing in the corner of the room, without a guest badge, unaccompanied by anyone. His face was unfamiliar, but the way he looked at Diana wasn't like paparazzi, not like a visiting aristocrat, not like an admirer. His gaze was knowing, as if he knew something others didn't, as if he were waiting for something from her. Diana looked away for a moment, but a chill ran down her spine. In one brief second, all her memories came flooding back. Charles' confession, the lie broadcast nationwide, the black dress that had now sparked a wave of reactions. And now, a stranger looking at her as if she were part of some grand plan she didn't yet know about. When Diana looked back at the corner of the room, the man was gone, as if he had never been there. And that's where a new tension began to build. Diana felt something far different from public humiliation or palace pressure. That night began to feel like more than just a response to betrayal. It felt like the beginning of something darker, deeper, more hidden. Something that had been lurking within the stone walls of the ancient palace, where ancient traditions met human ambition. Something that might explain why some in the kingdom seemed so afraid of their freedom. Something that would be revealed and shatter the world's perception of what truly happened within the royal family.